So our intrepid team of 4 bikers leaving the hotel in Sarajevo to head off towards Mostar. This video will just simply show us riding down Sniper Alley and getting to the end of the alley, about the western end of the city before it comes to an end. And as we go along, if I see any places for which I got photographs from 1994 during the siege, then those photographs will appear in the frame as we're going along. We're on the south side of the river, heading west at the moment, and to the left of us the line of confrontation gets, or used to get, quite close to where we are now. So this is actually a location of pretty active sniper activity back in 94-95. In a sec we'll be turning right, and in order to protect against the sniper activity, once we're over the river, the whole road was blocked off by a series of ISO containers built like a Lego brick wall to provide some shielding from snipers. If they can't see, then they've got no target to shoot at. They were quickly removed sort of early 1994 as the first peace process activities started, and a truce was in place. So that ISO container wall I was talking about was built around here, just where we're driving now, just past the bus stop here. If you went straight ahead, then you would head towards the Olympic Village. So that's the stadium, the ice stadium where Torvill Dean won the Olympics in '84. And also just before that, on the left-hand side, was the United Nations headquarters in a building that they called the Residency. If you turn right at this place, you head off into town. So in early 1994, we didn't use this road. We used the one-way system to the right, and we used to go in both directions there, as it's the safest way to drive. Ahead of us is a big blue glass building, which in '94, when we first got here, was on fire and pretty much gutted. To the left of that building is the river, and the closest point that the line of confrontation came down to, and also the source of a huge amount of sniper fire. A lot of what was reported in the press during the time with the French armoured personnel carriers protecting civilians crossing that crossing that you can see in front of us happened here. And on the right, as we get going, you'll start to see the yellow and brown Holiday Inn Hotel. There it is, which is an icon in Sarajevo. That had a fair few holes in it, being a fantastic target for snipers who were not far away, 300 to 500 meters away to our left, in the Jewish cemetery, which was up on the hill. So that's now called the Hotel Holiday. Holiday Inn have got somewhere else now in town, I think, and that's been completely renovated, and it's quite a nice hotel and reasonably priced to stay in as well. To the left, just out of shot, was the main Sarajevo History Museum. If you want to see stuff in Sarajevo to do with the siege, then go down into town and you'll find that there's a museum that covers off just that subject. On the right, as we're going past now, you can't really see it so much now because of the trees, is what used to be Tito Barracks, and that's being renovated as well. Not everything's been renovated in the last 30 odd years, but much of it has. And you'll see in a bit when I start putting pictures in the frame that one of the biggest differences to Sniper Alley is all the trees. There were virtually no trees back in 1994. Not too sure of the reason. I suspect it may have been cut down by residents to use as firewood. I've no idea, but the difference is quite stark. Back in 1994, we used to take this road out to the airport to collect supplies from any aircraft that had successfully made it into the airport. Traffic lights weren't working, obviously the trams weren't working, and you went as quickly as possible down this road. You didn't want to hang around, even with a UN vehicle. It was somewhere down this part of the route that the first trams to run, I think in mid 1994, were run. And I think there's a picture of that somewhere that will show up in the frame as well as we go along. It is quite remarkable how beautiful this avenue has developed into compared to what it looked like 31 years ago. It really is a beautiful city, and I really urge people, if they can, to get out and visit it. Vibrant, young, and very busy, and a real pleasure to visit. So coming up on our right shortly is the old TV building. I think it still is a TV building today, but back in '94, that's where a lot of the press hung out. The French were stationed there. There is a UN hospital base in there as well. And myself and my guys were regularly down here helping to maintain the Inmarsat communications they had on the roof of the building. The picture that will show in the frame is taken from the opposite direction, coming in the opposite direction. So it'll appear on the left hand side of the road, but you'll get the view, no trees at all, and it's very obvious as you're driving down. In '94, we stuck to one side of the carriageway for both lines of traffic. We didn't use both carriageways. So some of the pictures that will be seen in frame will be will look as if we're staying on the same side of the road in both directions. And the building on the right now with the round window is also recognisable in one of the older pictures. Just a little bit further beyond these traffic lights on the right hand side is a petrol station. We'll put a picture in the video which will show that same petrol station, looking at it from the opposite direction back in 1994, and it's nice to see that it's now been renovated and in full service. Shortly we'll have a view of a building on the left, a big tall glass building, cylindrical looking, or has several cylinders on it. That building used to be a printer's building back in '94, I believe, and the picture in the frame will show what it looked like in '94. Again, that's been totally renovated, and I think its use has been changed as well. I think it's probably a hotel or an office block. Again, a lot of these buildings left and right weren't there. On the left hand side is a pink building. It looks exactly the same as it did back in 1994. It hasn't been renovated at all. It's still a ruin. And this particular part, this particular junction, is where the French and the Ukrainians were building a wall of ISO containers to prevent snipers from attacking the trams as we got them working. And I think this was July '94, and they came under a significant amount of heavy fire from the Serbs who are off to the left somewhere. And I think if you search YouTube under Associated Press, you may be able to find one of the newsreels on that one. But as you can see, that pink building is still a ruin. We're now approaching the flyover, and the picture in the frame will show what it looked like in '94. This is the front line. There was route denial going on. The whole road had been blocked off. To get to the airport, you'd have to go off the slipway to the right here and then round on to the flyover and go left towards the airport. We're now out of the besieged city as it was in '94. We're now heading in a little bit of no man's land before we cross another front line, which was the Bosnian Serb front line at the time. and then it's out into Bosnian countryside. This time we're heading to Mostar. Frequently we'd head to Kislyak in '94, which is where the main headquarters of the UN was stationed. About a 45-minute drive from here in an armoured Land Rover. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just a bit of history and a few memories for myself. Thanks very much for watching.